change it. Only he can do.
You can change the air. It's too cold in here.
Will we wait or start? We can wait for 2-3 minutes. We can meditate and then let others come. Om Ashato Ma Sadgamaya Tamasho Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness and ignorance to light and illumination. Lead us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. We can all chant every day. It is not a very difficult verse. Next time we will chant together. At least you know one chant, invocation chant. Yes, we are on the Yoga-Vasishta, which is called translated as Nectar of Supreme Knowledge. And we have read a few verses, no? What is the, who remembers?
We're still on that forward.
Verse number 4, is it not? Huh? Huh? Oh, we didn't go there. Anyhow, we finished the 4-1, no? So, yeah, most, and you can read that, and if you have any question we can discuss later on. So we have done with the foreword. So the foreword, the idea is that this is the high Vedanta text. The essential of the Vedantic teachings are here given, and this highest order is that this world is all creation of the mind. It has no real existence as such, though we feel it is solid, it is hard, it is liquid, it is vapor, it is trees, plants, earth. It is all created in the mind. And that's, it is mind. Just go beyond mind. You will see that there is nothing but that one truth, which is called Brahman or Atman, the absolute reality. So, see that. It is the reality behind everything, but how it's possible? That is the discussion they will do chapter after chapter, to convince that this appearance, this is an appearance. And this appearance, and given the most concrete example of our dream state, it gives the close proximity of explanation that this reality is a mere appearance. Because in the dream also we have solid objects, liquid, we see their water, we see their stones, rocks, mountains. So all the whatever we see the same thing in the dream. And we that time we don't say that this is not real. We recognize that as reality. Similarly, I am recognizing this as reality. As dream is totally constructed by the mind, so this is also my mind. So if you transcend the mind or purify the mind, then you will see that this appearance dissolves into not to nothingness, but to a thing which cannot be explained. What is that? And this text has been said that it is a book of meditation to someone. One can take some of the verses and ideas and step into it deep and deep and deep and find the truth. Contemplation, some can reflect upon that, some according to the ability of the student, this book can be utilized in these three level difference, three states of the conditions of the student, what is the capability of the student to absorb. So this was in the, and practice is a wonderful thing. So here, the 10th chapter describing 223 verses are there, and it has been described, the 10 chapters, as first of all, how can we get out of these things in the world? You are not to get out of the things, but how can you see the thing in reality? We are seeing the things which are changing. So the first chapter is called, you have to detach from the objects you see to go to the originality of it. Our mind is fixated on things which are changing, which are momentary, which are only available in the sense perception. We do not know beyond sense what is there. So it is a necessity that to detach from this objective universe, not to go to a void situation, but to know if I detach what is there. Second, that's why first chapter has been detachment, and the reason why, because it is mitha. This world is not real. It's really we are running after something which is unreal, and we logically, scientifically, we will have to accept the truth that it is all unreal. The object I am seeing, it is changing every split second. The mind through which I am seeing, my mind is changing. The person who is speaking, his body is changing, his brain cells are changing. Is every system in this world, every split second, everything is in the flux of change and change and change. And we foolishly saying this is real, this is real, this is real, and we want to hold on to things, whatever is available in the world, not thinking that these are all fleeting. Nothing you can hold on. Can you hold on your youth? Can you hold on your health? Can you hold on to your anything in the universe? House, building. Today is a new house. After a few days you change your carpet. Why do you change your carpet? It has become old. How did it become old? Did it become old by vanishing moment, or it has happened every split second? This wall, oh, we need to paint it. Why do you paint the wall? Because it is not absolute. It is a change, and it is in the mood of all flux of one situation to the other situation. So neither the man who is talking with the help of body, mind, emotion, ego, intellect, in all this level it is all change. And the object I see, this is all change. But I am just bewildered in the mess of this mixed ignorance, that's why Vedanta called ignorance, that I took it totally wrong. I took it to be all real. And we cry and weep, every day's life is a misery. Why? I take it so seriously. And how much joy we find in the world, more suffering we suffer every day. A little bit of tidbit, a momentary little touch of joy, but followed by so much of suffering because I am holding this truth. So second chapter, unreal nature of the universe. Analyze the world. Look it scientifically. Look at it as it is, not with emotion, not with apparently what appears to you, what appears to us. Every one of us know that we are real. We are real. Are you, what you are talking about is real? Which part of you is real? Your eyes are real? Then why do we get cataract? Why do we need eye surgery? If that vision is all the time same? No, it is changing. When we are born, our eyesight was strong. And as you grow on, and then you put an eyeglass. Why? And this eyeglass is also to be changed. Why? The power is changing. So what is the static thing you see in yourself and the objective universe? So second chapter, the unreal nature of the universe. It is to be very intelligently scrutinized and to come to the conviction that yes, it is unreal in the sense of it is mithya, means changing, and it is not the same. And how can it come? Only by the knowledge of the self. Tattva Gyan, third chapter, on page, what you will say, contents. Go to that content page, there you will find 1, 2, 3. Content is there just before the book starts, chapter 1. If you need anyone book, there is book with Parama. If you haven't, you need anyone, please take it from her. Yeah, borrow it for the timing. Yeah, then you will be more have a
Anybody else?
or you both two can share, come and share together. One book can be shared together. So this will only happen when we have tattva jnana. Jnana means the knowledge of the tattva. Tattva means what is the ultimate truth. Ultimate truth, if we know, then we can see how it's changing. Only mere changing will not say. Only mere changing will not convince me unless I have to have the experience that what is unchanging. So that's why third chapter. But how it will happen? Again come back to the same serious issue that my mind is interpreting the world the way I am. Look at that. Everyone's view of life is his own interpretation of the mind. I am looking at you, someone may think, oh, he's looking at her, she likes more to her, not to him. Maybe you think like that. Who is showing it? Your mind. And my mind is telling something me to different. So this everything, I can just give a gross example, but in every day, our interpretation of the mind, that's why we go to holy people. Why do we go to holy people? Because holy people's mind is clear. They see the truth. They don't see the outer crust. Ramakrishna is to see mother everywhere. That is the vision, truth, which unchanging truth. And in Vedantic term, it is that absolute consciousness and bliss. They used to see and touch by their eyes, with the senses. Every sense perception will teach them, bring that message to the mind, and mind will not interpret anything. Interpretation is always confusing. Rather, that's why I was reading in one place, stop all the prophets of the world. Hush. Stop talking. Let the truth come out. Even we the preachers, we create tremendous confusion in the mind of people. Because we are interpreting I am interpreting from my mind. Unless my mind is purified and it is like transparent, no interpretation business. Interpretation is always confusion in the case of the truth, ultimate truth. Because how will you understand this complicated mind which has a pollution in itself? And trusting on that mind, we think we understand the world, we judge the world. But ulterior sense, that's why the necessary dissolution of the mind. Dissolve your mind. No interpretation. When you go to deep sleep, you don't interpret the facts of what is happening outside, inside, in your subtle level of your existence or the gross level of your existence. All dissolve. But we go to ignorance, that's why we don't know anything. But if we can dissolve the mind in the same way by meditation and spiritual practice, or analyzing the mind and cleaning the mind every day, rubbing. That's why I was listening to one story of one of our Swamis. Atmastananda Swami was the last president. Someone is reminiscing about him. He says that outwardly he's very straightforward person and makes jokes and very strong personality, this, that. But his personal life, whole night, he's repeating the name of the Lord. And the whole day is working and whole night he is repeating. How possible? To clean the mind, unless the mind is clean, this interpretation business will go on. And this interpretation business always will say, this is real, this is real, this is real, this is real. And nothing wrong. If it says this is real, what happens next? I like it. I dislike it. My likes and dislikes, and becoming strong and stronger. I am going to the ignorance and deeper ignorance and deeper ignorance. But it is all God. When it is transparent, it will see there is no sinner, no holy man. It is all one consciousness, only covered by the coloring of the mind. So if the mind is clean, that's why dissolution of the mind, manolaya, is the 4th chapter. And not only manolaya, don't destroy the mind. Mind can be dissolved, like every day we sleep we go. Every day we go to sleep. Our mind dissolves? No, it appears that it dissolves at that particular time. But when you come up in the morning, it brings his whole baggage. Is it not? Last night when you slept, where you ended, you start your business from there today. Oh, I did that draft, I could not complete. Early morning I'll get up and I'll do that draft. Oh, I'll have to rush for my plane. I'll have to get up this time. Where you kept your mind dissolved, and in dissolved time you are sleeping, you don't know, you are very happy. But as soon as you woke up, boom, all the baggage, everything, your database, all the data then pushing you to your own destination. Now that's why it says, distraction not only on the mind superficially, but go deep down into the mind, that all the latent impressions, whatever you thought, whatever you worked, nothing is going away, as in a computer, no? You can click from here and delete, and then it goes to another place, is it not? And then you delete from there. Does it go? It hides in some other place. So it does not go. So similarly you may think, oh, I did this way, I thought that way. Okay, that's good. But when you forget, it is not gone anywhere. It is hiding, just settling down in the subconscious of your mind. And it goes to the deep subconscious. And whenever any environmental situation can be just create little stimulation there, boom, that all impressions come up. Suppose you have forgotten, say I have some accidents, in driving accidents, and then you start just saying, oh, I saw this accident when it was coming on the right lane, it was like this. Immediately, see what happened? You have pushed in my subconscious, and boom, all my other memories, it's coming into the surface. So if you only think that you will be able to just clean the top, you have to top to bottom, you have to clean. That's why don't take negative thoughts. It's very destructive because it goes to the subconscious and it comes up again. So we will have to work on that. You cherish and bring it in your heart lovingly. You will have to work on that with the tearful eyes to get it out. So that's why it's very important. It is said that always Holy Mother said, see the nice things, see if you want peace, my child. They say, very beautifully said, don't see fault with others, don't see negativity in others, because not for the good of you, it's for my benefit. There will be, but I don't mean that lawyers will give up their business because not seeing fault. They will have to do the business, and not only business. There is a truth is up to that. I, with the documents what I found, these are the right points, and I have to fight for this truth. I do not know what is the truth, in embedded truth. We are trying to find out the truth. So you can do that, but not with vengeance, not with hurting anyone, but to find out the truth, and what happens. So the very important point is destruction of the latent impressions. Come to the point. That's why spiritually it is not so easy thing. People say, go to this and get a touch of this and have that illumination. And Vedanta does not believe in those things. It is a deep-rooted task, and you will have to undo. Not that you have to undo everything, but you have to pour so much heavy pressure of positive thinking that it goes to such a level of subconscious it cannot come up. No? If this top is heavy, what happens? The bottom thing cannot come out. It tries to raise, but it will not be able to do that. And by that time you get a glimpse of the truth, but all the past impressions are destroyed then. So, see step by step, it is very important, this analysis. Then the chapter of destruction of the latent impression. Latent impression is that impression which I have done, maybe forget, those who don't believe in the previous birth, start from this birth. Whatever I have done, consciously or unconsciously, every impression, when it's done, it has immediate action and reaction, and then it goes down into the bottom. Giving the example, Raja Yoga gives the example, you are in the lake, you consider mind as the lake, and you throw a stone. One stone you throw, and what happens? Wherever it hits, it creates a ripple. And that's the instant reaction. You love it, you hate it, you are angry, you are emotionally, you love it, you ignore it. All the reactions coming on the ripple surface. But where goes the stone? It gradually goes down and sinks into it. So thought is like stone. Stone is a solid thing, thought is a finer thing. Just to understand this point, this example has been given, it is like a stone, but it is a thought. You say something, you are expressing your thought to me, and I get immediately reacted, is it not? You express your thought that I am displeased with you, you did this, did that, and you say like that to me, and what happened? It's only one sound wave hitting my eardrum. This is physically it is happening. It is like a stone. And it is carried by the nervous system to the brain. And the brain gets reacted, neurons or whatever action, and then it is sent to the mind. Mind catches that. And mind reacts instantly. That is the superficial reaction, immediate. That's why it is said, if you are reacting superficially, you are a saintly person. But who is not saint, who is ordinary? Those who live with that impression years after years. That in the year 1980, you looked at me like this. That impression is so deep, you cannot get out of it. I cannot forget that you did it to me. Till I die, I cannot forgive you. People say this. These are common statements in our life. So that is, but a saint is such, he will be immediately angry. Apparently will say that, oh my God, he is a holy man, what he is doing. But as soon as they can just switch back, come back to their calmness. And they don't keep any impression. So instant reaction is nothing wrong for anyone. But how you are charting that impression again and again and creating a big rut on your brain and physically, creating an impression, that is dangerous. And we have to work not only on the surface. First of all, I will try to control myself. I try to be non-reactive. This is an attempt. I may fail, I may succeed. That is not that important. But important in the sense I am trying to master myself, but the practice will not end here. You have to go to the subconscious. Because you are holding there. So, take care of your subconscious also. So that's why it is called Vasana Uposama Prakarana. That's the fifth. Sixth, how the Vasana will go. Desire. How desire will go. I am holding to little things of life. Why? Because I find joy in it. So what to do? Think of your infinite self, which is the abode of all joy and blessings. Concentrate there. Concentrate there. What will happen? Then if you concentrate on the eternal absolute substratum of our self, what is called the self, then attachment or the subconscious which are bothering us, that side will be nullified gradually. A very step by step you think that way, it's really a great teaching we can follow from this. And then now you understand very deeply that 7th chapter, next page, ascertaining the means of purification. Now, I want to purify. How shall I purify? You cannot say, I want to purify my mind. I want to purify my subconscious. It will not do. Yes, you think of the self, but how to think of the self? How to meditate? That's why Vedanta teaches, meditate every day, say, I am that. Swamiji's words are there. And Turiyananda Swami and other Vedanta teachers teach us always. And that ascertain, we need the means of purification. First ascertain, and then you can practice. And how? By adoration of the self. Think. You are only looking at your petty identity. Look at your eternal self. It is the adorable self. It is adorable, infinite. And you are that. So hold on to this, adoring your own self. We adore our physical body. No? We put paint and, or not paint. Anyhow, we have to do that to take care of the skin and things like that. But my point is that we try to hold this and to beautify this. But there is eternal beauty in us, which excels everything. See, a person who comes in meditation really does a deep connection here, comes out, look at his face. He does not have to put any cream. Did you really observe this? You observe yourself. Really you will see that. You have a good and focused practice and just go. I always suggest, whether you have done good meditation, after meditation, go and stand before the mirror, watch your face. You will find that it has become serene, peaceful. It is, And those great people who can really dive into meditation, their face will be shining, blooming. I have seen some Swamis giving the class, Vedanta classes, and goosebumps all over the body, all over the face. You can see as if joy is emitting. That is called the transformation. And then what a joy is inside. If I have seen sadhus who are talking about this Vedanta and flushing with joy. If by talking it happens and one can dive there, what will happen? So that is the point, the Suddhi, Nirupan, not only not, adore your own self. There is such a great personality behind you, not this one. And that is to be adored because that is the highest, that is the goal of all achievement. And then exposition of the meaning of the self means Atma Nirupana. You have to ascertain and dive deep into the Atman, and then you reach a point, what is called 10th chapter, state of emptiness or non-emptiness. The Shunna, Ashunna. Shunna means it is the Buddhistic view. Ultimately there is all void. Shunna means void. Ashunna, non-void. We reach a point, Atman, you cannot say it is not there, it is not void, as I said. Vedanta and Buddhistic thought is this is the distinction. Buddhism ends there in saying it is void. But they mean the same thing. Buddha means the same thing, same joy, same bliss. But he does not want to talk about that, and it is Shunna means void, void of this duality. It is void, but void of what? Void of this duality. But Vedanta says no. If you say void, then you are describing something. It is indescribable. So it is neither void, neither non-void. That means it is only to be realized, only to be experienced in yourself. So there is the conclusion of the 10th chapter. Huh? Yes?
Swami, for whatever reason, we seem to associate the philosophic term of shunyata with Buddhism, but this text itself, Yoga Vasishta, goes back into a hoary Hindu past, which is much, much earlier. So the word, neither the concept nor the word, the terminology, is Buddhist. The Buddhists used it, but
they flourished it.
But that term was already embedded in Hindu thought.
Yeah, in the Vedic literature, most of the thoughts what you find, it is embedded there. But even Charvak philosophy, the philosophy of your this only material existence, materialism, from that point to the absolute non-dualism, and this Shunna, Purna, every idea is given. Only each school of thought have emphasized one side and flourished it in their own way. So that is the difference. Because sages have experienced God in every aspect. As Ramakrishna, if you go to Ramakrishna's Gospel, if really philosophically someone reads it, he can find this Ajatavad, the non-creation of the world. It is a dream theory, it is a reflection theory. Giving you the example, no? He's saying there are 100 pots filled with water. You see 100 reflected sun, no? Now break one by one. So what do you see ultimately? All the pots and the reflected sun is broken, gone. What remains? The real sun. So the real sun, these are reflected sun. This philosophy, Bimba Pratibimba Bada, they have developed later on. But it is in the Upanishad, the same idea is there. So Bimba means the original, Pratibimba is the reflection. So that Bimba, which is the essential sun, eternal sun, that's all the time here. When it is reflected in through the mind, you see ego comes. Ramakrishna gave the example. In a jar, in a what do you call, in a bucket full of water, you put a stick and you see the stick is broken because of refraction. But it is not broken, it appears. You throw out the water and see the stick is the same stick. Though it appeared broken, it is not broken. So this is the thing. So this theory is there, Brahma Pratibimbo is there, Ajatavad you can find. Similarly, in all the philosophies of looking God, that's why they came Darshana. They viewed, Darshan means seeing. The ancient seers, they saw the truth from different angle. And those have later on been developed in different schools, systems of schools. And ultimately, Ramakrishna is the ultimate solution. They say everything is correct. Don't fight with each other. Everyone is right. Is it not? Everyone, I commit some blunder, I am right. Why? I am not committing knowingly. I know it is good, that's why I am doing. Most of the people, when they do any action, look at that mental condition. The person who is doing something, he or she thinks it is right. It's justifiable. Up to the condition of the mind and what the mind has guided that him or her, he or she thinks this is right for me to do. Afterwards she understood, oh, that action of mine was not rational. But you are looking it from another state of mind, your mature mind or indifferent mind, or who is not involved into the incident. You have taken yourself off from that situation. Observer mind. Then you say, oh, I did that mistake. I should not have behaved that way. I should not have reacted that way. No. So, but when we are doing, everyone is doing things what everyone thinks right. So philosophically also about God, whatever we are thinking, everyone is correct because everyone is standing on their own level of mental condition. So what to do? That's why it is said, don't say your path is the only path. Your way of looking is the only way. They are also correct. And then mature, then you will be like Sri Ramakrishna's idea. Everyone is calling the same Lord. And everyone is viewing the same sun from different flights of their journey. So there comes the solution, there comes oneness, there dissolves all distinctions, and there comes non-interpretation of the mind. So long mind interprets, different philosophies will be there. And when mind fails or drops away and dies totally into the consciousness, then no interpretation, then who will say what? Will you say it is there? It is said it is not there. So you cannot describe anything. It is that, it is that. Okay? So these 10 chapters we will go through now. Begin today the first chapter. First chapter talking about detachment. So at the commencement of the writing of the Yoga Vasishta Sara, the author, by this auspicious introduction, offers his salutation in the form of a prayer at the feet of his chosen ideal. So it says, Om Ganeshaya Namah. Even you are reading this non-dual text, and he is calling upon Ganesha. So, how can you go beyond duality? You say you are non-dual. You know, Advaita Vedanta is really sometimes you can criticize it. They say it is non-dual, but they are doing their salutation to Ganesha, Guru. What type of this? Who is Guru? Who is disciple? No. So long you are not free from your mind, classes of the mind, you have to have your Guru, you have to have your Ishta, you have to because you have to go through them. You have to get out of the school, but you cannot jump out of the school like that. You have to get the certificate from one grade to another grade, another grade to another grade, and then get out one day. But just simply thinking that I am out, it will not make anyone out. So, the guru and teacher and then Ganesha for success, that's the first verse he is saying. What is the verse says? Please join me. You will, reading system will be that, first is the Sanskrit. You may read, those who are capable read or don't read. Second you find, this is italics, it is transliteration is given. That's also maybe sometimes difficult because it's one line. You will see the very first line, de kala, and you probably will not be able to pronounce the whole line. So that's why we have made it easy. Go down again, dik hyphen, kala hyphen, adi hyphen. Did you find it?
Yeah.
All of you? Why I am saying that when we read next time, this is the direction. If you focus there, your chanting will not be difficult. You can chant all the Sanskrit words divided in this way. So, first if you can read in the top, that's good. If you don't know, then transliteration. Then go, even you know Sanskrit, Devanagari, but split, you cannot know where the conjoined sentences. So this has been disjoined. So you go through that, then you can read it easily. So if you focus there, the transliteration or the Sanskrit, then it will be readable. What he says, Dikkala adi anavachinna, Dikkala adi anavachinna, Ananta Chinmatra Murtaye, Ananta Chinmatra Murtaye, Swanubhuti Ekamanaya, Swanubhuti Ekamanaya, Shantaya Namah Shantaya Tejase, Namah Shantaya Tejase. So, is it readable? Again, shall I do? Okay, read again. Dikkaladi anavachinna, Ananta Chinmatra Murtaye, Swanubhuti Ekamanaya, Shantaya Tejase Namaha. So, you see, when you read this, read very slowly, because Sanskrit sometimes pronunciation is difficult. But if you slow down and pay attention to each letter, then you will see that how it is easy for you to pronounce the word exactly as it is. If you move on rapidly, you will not be able to catch the pronunciation, perfect pronunciation. So now what he says, word by word meaning is also there. That will be your, you can study at your home. Every time we read 3-4 verses, I cannot read more than probably 3-4 verses. I will try a little more, but I always fail. But even 3 or 4 verses, this book is not to read at length. You read little bit and meditate and contemplate. Yes.
Just a quick question. In the 2 verses, in the first one it says Nama Santaya Tejase, and in the second one it says Santaya Tejase Nama. This is called according to grammar and reading, to bring out the meaning, we change this order. Sanskrit is such a language that you can put Namaha here, you can put Namaha there, you can put in the first line even Namaha. Okay.
It does not make any change in the meaning. But this is the way, if we go through the words, then you find that word by word meaning will be easy for you to understand.
Okay.
But actually if we want to chant, we will have to chant the original top one. The top one.
The second one is for making it easy, and order is little organized for purpose of our understanding. We change the word here and there a little bit. It is for better understanding. That Sanskrit gives that liberty. English will not give. Other language, every language has its beauty. So Sanskrit is like that. You can put I, aham, in the very first beginning, or you can put at the end. Meaning remains the same in Sanskrit. So what it says, dik kalo adi anavachinno. Anavachinno means which is not divided, broken. Which is not dik kala. Dik means the east, west, north, south, these are the dik, directions. And kala means time. Time, space, position, direction. Atman, the Brahman, is not divided by it. So that's why it is that I am saluting to that divine entity. Namaha. Namaha means I am saluting to that who is dik kala adi anavichinna, who is, in the second line you go, I salute the Supreme Brahman, who is beyond all the qualities. Ojo, beyond all the qualities. Chinmatra Murtaye. He is only of the nature of consciousness, limitation which is beyond the limitation of the 10 directions, space, time and object, who alone is the embodiment of the infinite consciousness, and who is to be known only through the proof of one's own experience. So I salute to that entity. So it is like you are saluting your Guru, you can salute your Guru, or you salute Ganesha, you can say, for success. Actually you are saluting the infinite. I salute the infinite, who is in the form of my teacher or my success giver, deity. So I salute actually the Vedanta book. Actually your Guru is, who is Guru? Even Guru in our technical term. That he is the Satchidananda. Satchit Ananda, that is the eternal absolute consciousness. The grace comes from there. Don't look at the human personality of the Guru. It is a person through which that same energy came. So we go through the Guru, actually we touch the consciousness and bliss. So that is the idea here. I salute the Supreme Brahman, who is beyond all qualities, whose nature is tranquil, beyond the limitation of all 10 directions, space, time or objects, and who is alone is the embodiment of infinite consciousness, and who is to be known only through proof of one's own experience. How can you understand that absolute consciousness without your own experience? It is not that other things, Shankaracharya says that if you are carrying a heavy load on your head, someone will be kind enough and can take your load, release your load by sharing that load. But for you removing your ignorance, you have to work on that. No one can help. It is like that. Suppose you are hungry and I eat, your hunger will go away. Meaning, eating to be done by you, digestion should be done by you, then your hunger will be satiated. So this is Vedanta says, you have to do. That's why Emperor said, no, only to be known only through the proof of one's own experience. And for that, the entire book starts, no? How to get that touch of that proof in my own experience. Not you have experience. You have experience, it is yours. But I must have to experience. Spirituality is subjective experience. That it is Satchidananda, I know that and I feel that. You will have to certify the same thing by your experience.
Now, it says auspiciousness introduction in the form of prayer by commentator. On this, there is a great commentator whose name was Mahidhara. And this book gives that his commentary also. So, the Swami who wrote this book in Bengali, he took the original verses and the commentator is Mahidhar, his ideas and translated everything, and he has explained later on his own understanding. So three things are there. First you have to read the original text, then what Mahidhar commented on that, and then is the portion what this Swami who has collected this book and presented to us, how he understands it. So three ways of understanding. Original, to make it clear, much more clear, go to the commentator, Mahidhar. His name is Mahidhar, Mahidhar. You see that? That is the name of the commentator. And then after that commentator's note is the Swami's note. So you have to read in this way so that you know that which is original book, what is saying, what is the Mahidhar, the commentator is explaining, and to clarify it more, how the Swami Dhireshananda, we can say Swami D, for our reference, Swami D, Dhireshananda. So Swami D, what he comments. I could have written Swami D, but I didn't do that.
Swami, what was the days of Mahidhara?
That you will have to find out, but it's in the introduction it is said somewhere. Mahidhar was which year, somewhere it is mentioned.
So, Swami, what did Mahidhara sort of cull the Sara of Yoga Vashishta?
These 223 verses were there, and he
Uh-huh.
commented on those 223 verses.
So
That means composition was done 220, a small edition was done by unknown sage, as in India. They are so humble. Before here, what happens? Before my writing, I write my name. And big way, this is written by me. But the ancient sages are so great, they hide themselves. They don't, abolishing total ego. But people get the benefit. That's why historicity is lost in that way. So Mahidhar only commented on when these 32,000 verses were concised to 6,000 verses, and out of 6,000 verses, 223 verses some unknown saintly person has composed. That was available, and on that Mahidhar wrote the commentary. Not that he has explained every verse, but most of the 223 verses, wherever he feels like explaining, he has explained.
So the Sara of the Yoga Vashishta really goes back
Long back.
a long back. But the Yoga Vashishta
It's
itself
farther.
probably was an oral tradition, which is
Yeah.
why it had so many verses.
Yeah.
Because mostly any epic or whatever that has a large number of verses is mostly attributable to an oral tradition.
Yeah.
But when it is culled, it becomes smaller. So that becomes the original sound.
Yeah, that has given some time period, probably somewhere it has been given when it happened, as much as they can get it. Then you can read the introduction, you will find that those dates. Huh?
Only a little bit is mentioned, XX7.
XX7. Acha, page, go XX7. Many years ago, during my stay in Uttar Kashi, a tranquil place of pilgrimage in North India, Swami Atmananda, a dear friend of mine, have noticed merged with Brahman, presented me the copy of Yoga Vasishta Sara. This volume containing Mahidhara's commentary was published by Kashi Sanskrit Press in 1884. I could not find a second copy of this book even after intense search. It is no longer available. So you can say he got in a print.
End of second paragraph it says that the 16th century commentator.
Yeah, I say. So you see that. Anyhow,
So the dark black is the direct translation, and then
Oh, I am in one place. I'll go to that. First you go to the XVII. There you get all this little timing affair, how Mohidhara did and what he did, which time period. Okay, so those who are interested, go for that. Okay, next page you turn. Many verses of the original great Yoga Vasishta, first paragraph, and of the smaller Laghu Yoga Vasishta are found in numbers of Upanishads, etc. Anyhow, let us go to where we are there. So now, what did you ask?
I'm just asking because you're saying there's 3 voices. So there's the direct translation, and then
That I have done only for the main verses. Main verse, verse number 1, verse number 2, verse number 3. But in between I didn't give that. See, look at that. Now we are reading on page 2. Oh yeah. Om Sri Ganeshaya Namah, Sri Saraswatai Namah, Sri Gurubhyo Namah. And then you see that there is some Sanskrit verses. I am not divided like that. Only the original. So its meaning is that I salute the lotus feet of Ganesha, the remover of all the obstacles, the goddess Saraswati, the bestower of all knowledge, and Guru, who is the spiritual teacher, the embodiment of compassion, and the giver of instruction about the knowledge of Brahman. So this is it is from Mahidhar. Mahidhar, while writing the commentary, he started writing. And what he says here, it is given. I first offer my salutation to the Lord Lakshmi, and thereafter only for the welfare of all I am writing this brief explanation of this book, Yoga Vasishta, in accordance with my humble understanding. Some great souls have quoted these essential verses out of the vast ocean of the knowledge of Supreme Brahman, which Vasishta, the king among the monks, gave advice to Raghava, Ramachandra. And what is that advice? Quote, I salute Brahman, who is tranquil, meaning beyond the 3 qualities, and who is of the nature of brilliance, Tejas Sarupa. In other words, I meditate on Brahman, considering it as non-different from me, renouncing my identification with all objects of the body and the rest. So here he gives the idea what the Tejas means, and then this is meditating before going to that main verse. He is talking about what he is doing is remembering his own self, the Atman. So we go to page 3 in the middle. Here by the words Teja, Brahman is to be understood. He says, I am meditating on what? That Tejas, and Teja is the Atman, the light of the light. Not the brilliance of ordinary light comprised of the elements. We see the sunlight, we did this electric light. It is not that light they are meaning, but it is the light of the essence. The reason is that the characteristics which will be discussed later on do not originate from material energy. What type of brilliance is this? Is being described here. What is that? That which is not limited by space, time and so forth. And this light of the sun is limited by space. Up to certain range it is light. Or it can be obstructed by another element. But that light cannot be separated. That which is not limited by space, time and so forth, which is beyond all measures, which is undivided, infinite, indestructible, and is the consciousness alone, that is, whose body, form and image are the essence of knowledge. Again, in the spiritual aspirant's own experience is the only proof.
So it is Mahira saying, I salute the Brahman which is only known by one's own realization. Again, the Upanishad has said, avachanena provacha. Brahman cannot be described by words. Silence alone can be described. You are talking about to know the Brahman. So it is actually, it cannot be expressed in any word. That's why he gave the example here. Go to the bottom. What he says, having been asked by Bhaskali, his guru. Bhaskali is the name of one gentleman, student. He went to his guru Bardha. He described Brahman through silence alone. How? This is the way it has been described in the Upanishad. Bhaskali, the student, asked his guru, "O Lord, please instruct me about Brahman." It's on page 4, top. Vardha remained silent. Guru remained silent. I refer it many times. When the student asked the same question for the second and again for the third time, then Vardha replied, "I am ceaselessly instructing you all the time, but you are not capable to comprehend it. Atman, the self, in its essential nature, is absolute silence." You can describe, when you describe, you are limited. You cannot describe because it is not any material object. This is your own self. It is Brahman. It is Atman. It is beginningless. It is endless. You cannot describe that with any language. All language is limited. So, how can you do that? Don't say anything. After realization, there is a story now that the father sent the children to a teacher for Brahma, knowledge of the Brahman, and he went, and after due training, the sons have come back home. His father was a Brahmajnani. That was beautiful. In the society, how many Brahmajnanis, knowers of truth were there? One Brahmajnani, they are householder, mind it. Don't think they are monks. All the Upanishads are written by the householders. And they lead such a life. And they attain Brahmajnana. And they are sending their son, because if your own son, your son will not think that you are a knowledgeable person. It always happens. Wife will not think about husband, you are nothing. And husband will say, hey, you are nothing. But so you have to get honor, they used to send their children to another teacher. And another teacher student will come to here. As it happens, no? The student from Los Angeles go to find an university in say New Jersey or go to New York or some other place to be away from parents. That's the point. But anyway, so and then he have sent these two children to another teacher, and when they came back and then asked, "My son, you had been to your guru. What did you learn?" Asked one of the sons. And the son started describing Brahman. I learned about Brahman, Atman, as I am talking. We are talkers only. But realization is something different. But talking is good rather than talking mundane talks. It is a little better. But it is not that good in comparison to the experience. So he started talking about giving a good lecture to his father. Brahman is like that, I have learned this and this. Brahman is indescribable, it is beyond time, beyond space, beyond causation, and when he gave good lecture to his parent, my father. Father listened then. And then he asked the other son, "My son, what do you understand? What do you learn?" And he just stayed with not saying anything, not expressing anything, but his face could tell that what he has experienced. Then he said, "You are the person who have understood what is called Brahman." He's talking till now.
So it is a level. Experience will shine forth to the face, and your own understanding will be absolute stillness. That's why Buddha says that I am ceaselessly instructing you all the time, but you are not capable of comprehending it. Atman, the self, in its essential nature, is absolute stillness. In reality, the non-dual Brahman is beyond mind and speech. It cannot be expressed through words. Duality appears if one wants to say anything. Without superimposition, nothing can be uttered. That is why the Upanishads have tried to describe the truth by various types of imagination. Buddha explained that very truth by remaining silent. Then you see there Ramachandra asked Vasishtha, why then did you give me so much instruction? If you say silence is the best teaching, but why are you giving so much? Why are you talking so much? Very good question. If the fulfillment of the goal of explaining the truth is accomplished only by maintaining silence, then would it not have been sufficient for you to remain silent at the very beginning? In the reply, Vasishtha said, in that case, people would have thought I am a fool. And who knows nothing. They will see, if you don't say, some intelligent question is put, and a teacher sits silent, the other will think he is a fool, he does not know anything. That's why he could not respond even. That is why, after uttering so many words, I have now become silent. You will also now understand the secret of my observing silence. The genuine truth cannot be uttered. Still, the teachers have imagined many words like Brahman, Atman, Ritam, Satyam, and so forth. All the different definition and words just to explain something which cannot be explained. So, therefore, here this quotation is given, this meaning is given above. This Sanskrit says, this Ritam is the word, Atma is another word, Param Brahma, Supreme Lord, Satyam, truth, Ittadika, all these words, Budhai, by the intelligent people, at the bottom of the page 4. Kalpita, the intelligent people have imagined certain words, Vyavaharartham, to use it for the understanding of people like us. That it cannot be explained, but they have selected some of the words like Brahman, Atman, Ritam, Satyam, Ittadi, only for our understanding. Here, Mahatmana means the Supreme Self, the meaning of the other part is clear. Okay, so now we'll start the second day, and next day we'll start from the verse number 2. So you can read. I would suggest it will be good if you come little reading, then we can make it more interactive. That will be good. A question will be more there, and we can discuss on the points. And as we discuss, things will be much more open. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanam Astu. Thank you. Tomorrow will be the gospel.